Welcome to Srpg Plus. Today we got a different kind of video, top 10 of Switch games so far, from launch spring of 2017 to fall of 2018. I'm going to start it off with number 5, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This was a good partnership between Ubisoft and Nintendo. Quality game, super fun to play. It was a great beginner's SRPG, like strategy RPG type game. People who play XCOM are kind of familiar with those kind of mechanics, or if you played like Advanced Wars, Shining Force games like that. Good mashup. Ubisoft and Nintendo have been doing some cool projects. This and Starlink Battle for Atlas. Yeah, a quality game.
My number 5 Switch game is going to be Mario Kart 8. I spent a lot of time playing this game on the Wii U, and playing it on the Nintendo Switch, I really do appreciate all of the new aspects that they added with the battle mode, making it a lot better and actually playable. Also with the online, I feel like playing online with Mario Kart is always a breeze. There's never any issues with it.
Definitely. Number 4, Disgaea 5. Another quality SRPG. Big fan of the Disgaea series. I played 1, 2, 5, and the Prinny game, that's the spin-off. NIS makes some quality RPGs. Really fun and grindy. Really takes it to a whole new level. Like, you can be like level 9999. Crazy game. You can spend so many hours lost in the item world, creating your own characters, doing the story. The story alone took me 70 hours to beat. One of the best SRPGs I've played, I gotta say. Good story, good characters. Quality game.
Next is my number 4 pick. It's Octopath Traveler. This game is a very immersive RPG that anyone can pick up and play. It really has a enjoyable art style coming back to the old school, made by Square Enix. It has all these different RPG tropes that you see in old RPGs that you can pick up and play for a whole new generation in the same way that it was played in the past. The storyline does only get better with all the relationships of the characters building up, as well as those tying together with conversations that they have during the quest that they go on together. And I think it's really going to be a staple game for the Nintendo Switch that I feel is a really cool game to have only on the Switch as well.
True, a great exclusive. Number 3, Breath of the Wild. I know that's a shock. It's not number 1, and at the beginning of the Switch's launch, it was a lot of people's, probably mine too at the time. Amazing game. Played through it, beat it, did a lot extra in it. Went back when they released the DLC Master Mode, Trial of the Swords, the new dungeon, and more shrines to do. Collecting shrines, collecting Koroks. Quality game. 10 out of 10 Zelda game.
And then my next game is number 3, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. One of my favorite games. It's always triumphed over a lot of games that I've felt could have been on this list, even now to this date, having it be out for as long as it has been. Just like Resident Evil 4, man, you can't leave that game alone. It's coming to the Switch. I'm excited for ports a lot of the time, but either way, I still feel like this game really brings a lot to the table with all the new features they added with the amiibos and the new items that they had available, as well as being able to play the game portable. It's really an immersive way to play.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta get more hours into it as well. My number 2 is Octopath Traveler. That made my list as well. Amazing JRPG. Square and some of the devs from the Bravely Default franchise really knocked it out of the park. I don't know what to say. Like, it had a really unique art style, pixelated. Kind of showed that graphic style, and a lot of indies too have showed that graphic style still isn't like done with yet. You can still do so much new, innovative stuff. The mechanics are really cool, breaking your opponents, exploiting their weaknesses, made each battle really interesting. Quality game.
And then my number 2 pick is going to be Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game carries a lot of weight on its shoulders, being a game that was expected to come out on the Wii U. Not really early in its life, but at least sometime when it was alive. I feel like this console was dead before the game even came out, and everyone pretty much got it on the Switch. But it does live up to all the hype that it has made, coming up to be a Nintendo classic, be an open world immersive RPG with Zelda lore behind it, which a lot of people have been asking for, and it really brings a lot to the table. The engine itself could bring a lot more games to come as well. I think that this game is going to be passed on, possibly even ported to other consoles in the future, but I feel like it's always going to have a place.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to any next one. I just heard recently, I think actually today, I just heard a rumor that I don't even think it's a rumor at this point. They're actually hiring now for the next Zelda. That was confirmed like today, like job postings to work on dungeons and stuff like that. Oh, I'm so hyped. My number one was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Amazing open world action RPG filled with tons of anime tropes and crazy wacky characters like Prince Zeke, who is just unlucky, always is falling off stuff, like into like a huge sea, like super bad luck. So many good characters. Rex was a really good protagonist. Starts off as this really like inexperienced young kid, but by the end of the story, like he really learned a lot. You can tell that he's like grown, and you kind of grown with him on that journey just by playing it. The DLC was amazing, the Torn of the Golden Country, and it was an amazing game. I don't think I could have wanted anything more with it. Like I spent my money on it, got way more back in my hours played. It took me like 140 hours through the main story, and then an additional 40 with the DLC. It's crazy. Amazing game, and that was my number one.
And now my number one was Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I played the first Monster Hunter a lot, and then also the console versions on the Wii, the Wii U. I never really played it on the PSP too much, but I did pick up the games on the DS, including the original Generations. Didn't give it the same experience that I did this console version, and I think that this is a really good Monster Hunter game, could possibly be one of the greatest Monster Hunter games. I know a lot of people are big fans of Monster Hunter World, but bringing it back to the old style and having those old possibilities with hunter arts and not having the opportunity to eat during the middle of a quest and change items and things like that, having those old limitations that people may not enjoy does really bring the game to an experience that feels like the real Monster Hunter. Yeah, and this was the top 10 video for Nintendo Switch games. Top 5 video if you split it both between us. And this is Srpg Plus, and you guys have a good night.
Have a good night.